Fine, I'm coming, I'm coming. So I don't know about you, but lately I've been hearing from a lot of my artist friends that, oh, I'm feeling uninspired or I'm unmotivated or the vibe's not right. And, that happens to me too. And sometimes if we just need rest, we need rest. I know I feel like I make music in waves and then I go of not making music for a while and then I start making a lot of music again. But what I'm trying to get at is basically over the course of years of making music, one thing I've definitely learned towards any kind of project is if I don't sit down and just turn on my machines and start working on something, even if it's tinkering around in a project I've already been working on, I will probably never make music. If I just sit around and wait for inspiration to strike, I'll probably be sitting around for a while. And for me at least, I find that inspiration comes from the process of making music. So I'm rambling. Basically what I want to say is, hey, how are you? I want to make a song with you. So yeah, I figured I was feeling a little unmotivated and turned on my machine. So let's make a track. Okay, so this is the setup. I got all my tracks in Ableton. I don't direct monitor anything. I monitor everything through Ableton. Hence the last video as to why I really like the ERM multi-clock. It allows me to just kind of keep track of everything. I got some default EQs on stuff that I know is already going to happen. And usually just start off with a kick, of course. Let's see what we can find. I'll go to my sampler. That one's kind of nice there. So what I end up doing is just sampling straight into the MPC from a bunch of sample packs I already have. So by default, you can see it goes to this channel here. But if I keep this, let's just rename this BD1. And I assign it to the first pad. You can see it automatically goes here. It's got my cutoff of about 50. I find in a club, my kick cut at 50 has like no effect on bass and still has the same amount of punch. So I like that. And I can usually clip it in my mixer a little bit. Bring it down. That sounds kind of nice. Cool, we'll go and do a little count in. And let me edit these bars from 3 to 4. So I only want to do a 2-bar sequence just to speed things up. Full level. Dang, full level came in way hotter than expected. Cool, that'll work. Stop, and then I'll go and find some short hi-hats. I think that one pitched down might sound kind of cool. Record, done, keep, HH1, enter, done, assign that here. I normally put my hi-hats on track 3. And let's pitch that down. That sounds cool. So then I go to track 3, and I like to kind of keep everything in their own tracks. They're already pre-named. This is on my floppy. It's just like an auto save. I deleted the power set and just saved it as the default template that I wanted. I just went and formatted that. So if I like this, I'll say play from beginning. Easy. Let's find a long one. That one's cool. We'll make it a little shorter though. Record. Keep. I'll name that open hat. OH1. Done. Put that here. And you know what's funny is I'm realizing I'm saying all this stuff out loud, like do this, do that, and it's honestly just like a stream of consciousness, because this is exactly what I say when I'm making the song in my head. I'm just talking to myself, and it makes sense to me, which is cool. But I guess you can hear it out loud now. So that's on track 4. I literally say that. It just made me laugh at it again. Count in. We'll just do full level for this one. Cool. Awesome. Should we get a clap in now? Sometimes I like to save the clap for after the sample. Yeah, we'll save it for after the sample. So I normally use Splice to get a lot of my samples because a number of things. They sound really good. They're already royalty free. There's so many samples and they're almost like stemmed out. So you can get some that are like in the middle of a song sounding. And what I usually do is just go for the jazz piano. Man, I'm giving away all my secrets. Jazz piano sounds. This one's kind of cool. I think this has another part to it. Yeah, it does. So I'm gonna say, let's try this. It might work, it might not. I'll sample for 3 seconds, record. And these I already used my credits on, so. Ooh, I clipped way too hard. Yeah, I don't want that. Discard, record. Cool, so then I'm gonna name this CRD for chord. You can name it whatever you want, doesn't matter to me. So since this one I'm gonna end up chopping up the sample. I normally put my samples on 7, but since I'm chopping it up, I'm gonna put it on 9, 10, 11, and 12. So here, and I wanna make sure that that is set to mono. Cool. And then I wanna get the next half of this too. I think there's another part to it, so. See if I can do it right, timing. Ooh, good. Good job, dude. Oh, there's another one in there too. So this will be CRD2. Done, done. Cool. And then if we get that last one. I need to get that last one. You know what I'm going to do just to make this easier on myself is I'm going to just drag this into a new audio track. Whoa, wrong one. Splice. Is that cool? So that way I can just see where it's at, unwarp it, and just get the last little section. Yeah, awesome. So I'm gonna keep this one. This will be CRD 3. Done, enter. And then let's get this last one, record. Cool. So you could chop on the 3000. It takes a while. It's honestly pretty fun and very meditative, but for the sake of this video, I don't want to put you through all that. So boom. Awesome. So now I'm going to go back into these and chop them up a little bit just to cut the end off, the beginning. Cool. So then the most important thing, and this is like a gripe I have with the MPC 3000 and the 60 and the 60 Mark II. I'm not sure how the 2000s work, but you can only have a cutoff of 2 things. So pad 43, I want to get cut off by 44, so I'll put 43 in here. Same thing here, I want this to cut off 44, and then 45. And then I want this to get cut off by pad 1. So we need 46 here. So, oh, see, I messed up. So 43, this needs to cut off 43. Why won't that save? this is kind of why I have, I guess I can go ahead and delete this. This is kind of why I have this channel, the MPC 3000 left and right, for this exact scenario, because these samples all live on separate pads, and if I were to go in and edit the filter cutoff for one of them, these three don't get affected, only this one. So what I can do is in here just use auto filter, or I've been using this that Tejada showed me, the wave tracing. Has aliasing sound, but I can just okay. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So now that we kind of got the main idea down, let's record some shaker. I got that on this channel here. It's going into this microphone. You probably can't see it, but now you can hear me double. What's good? So let's go into program, record. So this automatically just like the master of my studio goes into the MPC 3000. So I don't want that to be that long. I want it to be this long. That's when you try to add a little bit of finesse. You just drop stuff. All right, let's try this. Oh, and I don't hear it because we got the filter on. So that's the next thing. You gotta make sure you eventually turn your filter off if you want to hear it. Cool, that'll work. Done. I'm gonna assign that to here. Oh, I forgot to give it a name. Whoops. Okay, so that's there. That's on 5. Applying a little EQ in the on the mixer. You know what, so this is kind of working, kind of not. So what I'm going to do is go to our sequence edit, and I'm going to copy this over to 2. And this is another thing I constantly forget. See, I've just been recording everything in track 4. So my samples, they're all in track 4, but I'm going to go ahead and delete that right now. And then I also recorded the shaker in there too, so I'll erase that. But I'm going to go to, let's go to track 7, which is our sample track. I like this one a lot. And I'm going to do that at 16 levels. Wow. 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 Okay. Cool. So now I want that to be 4 bars. So sequence, copy from, yeah, do 1 copy. Where we got 4. We're gonna have to erase this track. Check this. This is something that's kind of fun to do. You hear how it just kind of ends? I want that to weirdly loop. Not really. So what I'm going to end up doing is go to our sound editor, which is this sound here, and I'm going to just find a zone of it, of the tail end. So we can see it ends at 3 seconds. I want to say, what about 2 seconds? And then maybe a little less. Let's do 500. 600. Cool, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy that to a sound, and that copies it to a sound called zone X, Y, or Z. So I'm going to put that, I'll put it right here. So it's this zone now. So if I go into here, and that sound is from, this was the original pitch here, so it goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 semitones. So this needs to be tuned down by minus 100. Oh, yes. Okay, so let's see where this ends. Counting off. So again, back to that choking thing. I want to, that freaky choking thing. I want this to now cut off A15. So 49 needs to cut off 44. No, 45. And then this one needs to also cut off 49. So now let's see what that sounds like. Whoa! So now what I can do too, which is kind of fun, is if I go back into Splice, that was F minor. Cool. So that would make sense. So then if I go into the, we'll go, track 9 is my Pro 3, so it doesn't mess anything up. And honestly, the Pro 3 is so fun to program. I do the same program basically every single time, which is this. Turn that up a bit. So F minor. Let's see if that'll work. Cool, that kind of works. So if I want to get weird on the Pro 3, one thing that's fun to do is that you have the wavetable, and I do this. Man, I am giving away all my, oh man, you're gonna be like, dude, you don't know how to make music. You make music way too easy. There's another one that's cool. All right, so then what I'm gonna do is say, I'm gonna change LFO1 to sample and hold, send that to our shape mod by a little bit, and then I'm also gonna say wave reset. So every time I hit it, let me turn the frequency down, it changes its value. Lower that a little bit, and that's just to give it a little extra oomph. Yeah, so I'm gonna send LFO2 to the resonance. Okay, cool. So if I stop this, we're at 124. I'm gonna go ahead and set Ableton to exactly that. And what I can do now is I can flip this over and go into this, our arrangement view, and just set a loop point. And I know that the Ableton and the MPC are pretty much locked in, right? So I can do a couple things, but one of my favorite things is just to turn on the microphone and grab anything. It kind of works. So then I'll just hit record. Pause that, open this up, and what I end up doing is I'll just duplicate this, select track, delete, and turn this to auto, and then I'll just find a little loopy section like this and just paste it. Okay, so I can go in now and edit this a little bit. So I like that one right there. And I want it to also happen here. So I like those four being my loop. And just to be safe, I'll do this. And consolidate that. And then I'll just chop this off. And I'll say loop. That way if I drag this over here, I can then come back a little bit. Cool. So remember how I recorded that shaker earlier? I think what I want to do instead is just record the shaker in. So I got the shaker. Shortcut for select track contents. If there is, please let me know. I'll put that there. Let's see if that lines up correctly. Auto. Cool. That should be fine. Yeah, that'll work. And then boom, boom, boom. Levels are way too loud on that one. Same with this one. So next up, this is kind of something I've been toying with that's makes me a little nervous, but I mean it's kind of fun at the same time. But basically what I would end up doing is just tracking this Pro 3 in and committing it to audio and then erasing the patch since I made it from scratch and then use it as like a little lead line or something on top. So yeah, let's do it, you know, gotta walk the walk, not talk the talk. So all the sequence, all the MIDI data is coming from the MPC 3000, and all the audio is coming from the Pro 3. So if I wanted, I can. Right. So now if I do this, I can then put this on auto, play this, stop the MPC 3000, and this is what we have committed to audio so far. Again, that Pro 3, look at that, right on the money. Thank you so much, ERM. You are the best. So now that that's done, I will go ahead and grab this whole thing and just create a new audio track. Call it Pro 3 bass. Move that down, back to here, and set it to in. Oh, now I need to go into this and turn that track off. All right, back to the Pro 3. my chords work on this. Dude, those VCOs sound so good. I'm gonna just stick with that. Turn Paraphonica. Oh, messed up. I'm still learning, guys. What is it? I honestly, this is again giving away all my secrets. Cool, so check this, hit record. So cool, there was possibly something in there. I'll go and just check this out. And sometimes what I'll end up doing is I'll just kind of mess around and I'll say auto, turn this off, and I'll make sure that this is set to some sort of a loop point. And all I'll do is I'll just take like a half a bar and just put that there, and then basically say loop that half a bar. So we'll say it like this, and I'll just say, I'll take that, loop that. Like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. It's a little cheesy though. That might sound better with a little bit of side chaining on there. Again, like the wonderful world of making music in a DAW. You get so many options to do whatever you want. And since I have everything already split up in their own tracks, my compressor automatically just pops up as kick drum. So I know it's the kick from the MPC 3000. So if I go back in here. And it just needs to be turned way the F down. And then I've been using this, the towel reverb. Oops, wrong one. Oh my gosh. Never again. Just to put it way in the background. Maybe throw a little phaser on there. And then same with this the bass. I'm gonna just do an auto filter. So at this point, I'll pretty much just go and like commit everything to audio. So I'll just go like this, select all these, record arm, and just let it run. And sometimes I'll go in here and just kind of do some real-time stuff on top of the MPC 3000. Sweet. So with any kind of MIDI clocking device. The first one is always going to be a little off. If I zoom way the F in, the first one's off and the second one is not. Let's do this. So see, the first one's off by like a hair, but the second one is right on the money. So half the time I'll just go in and do that. And this usually only applies for like whatever is the very first hit of, you know, X, Y, or Z. So it might happen to the sample, but I don't mind it if the sample kind of has this weird, almost subconscious reset when it happens. So yeah, so that's that one. Let's see if it happens here. Yeah, it does a little bit. But again, since I let it track over itself, I can just go and like move this one. Here, let me do this. This will make more sense. So since I let it track over itself, I can just go into here and just let this kind of fall in maybe there and then add a little fade to kind of mask it. And then if you really want, you can just go into here, select all and consolidate that. That way everything isn't like a perfect 4-bar loop. Paste this forever practically. And I'll save this Pro 3 stuff for later. Cool. And then this as well. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, that got so jacked up. I didn't do something right there. Oh, whoops. See, this is what I'm talking about. Again, in that video, sometimes I forget to consolidate things perfectly and then I just make a mess of everything. So boom, 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 boom. I usually aim for my tracks to be about 5 minutes, 20 seconds to 4 minutes. So we'll do that for now. And sweet. So I just recently learned the 0 button to deactivate clips. I used to just delete my clips, which is still fine. I mean, it's technically kind of the same, but for whatever reason, I can kind of visually see a bit better. Here, let's do this. Awesome. So what I end up doing is being able to visually see what I'm doing instead. So if I kind of go back, I'll go here. We didn't use peak today. We didn't use this second mic channel. We did not use Decard or Deckard. We can turn off the ERM because we can always bring that back later. So now we just have kind of the essentials, but also we didn't use the clap track, which I guess I'll select the track contents and just delete it, and same with the perk. Yeah, we didn't do a lot of stuff. This is a very bare bones track. I mean, I guess I kind of just wanted to get the idea out. So let's see what we're at now. Yeah, that's cool. Then I'm going to turn off the closed hats. So actually, I'm going to turn this auto filter off. Go into here. So now all I'm going to do is just add some automation for our filter. That eventually full by this point. So if I take that down, do this, do a little line there, 0, and then we'll keep this out, and we'll take the closed hats out, and we'll bring the Pro 3 bass in. Now we can even toy with the like tuning of it. So I got this mixing method from Heinbach where he basically puts his 3 main elements at -6, everything next main elements under that at -12, and then -18 and so on. I kind of mix my stuff at around -12, but if you do the -6, it's a little easier to see. So like you see how the sample's hitting almost -6 right now. I'll lower that to -12. These bongos, I know I want to be like -18. But you see how they have that huge peak? I'm going to just slam the crap out of it with a glue compressor. So we'll go into here. Sharp attack, high ratio. Now you can see it's a lot more tame. And let's also do a delay. Actually, let's do the echo. Just a little movement. Ooh. A little bit of reverb. So So our kick is just slamming right now. So I'm gonna put that at -6. Closed head is at -18. I kind of like, or the open head I should say, -18. That's fine. But our bass is definitely like a main thing, so I kind of want that a little louder. But that also has a filter on it. And that's also just kind of like rough idea sounds, you know. Our sample can be a little louder. That's a little cheese ball, no? Am I the only one that feels that way? Yeah, that'll work. Cool. I mean, honestly, like from here, you just kind of go in and arrange this track and have at it. I mean, there's not much else I do from here. I do on the master channel kind of just add a little bit of ozone. That's also in that whole splice thing. Honestly, if you want to check out Splice, check the link in the description. I get a little kickback if you're interested in it. I've been using it forever. Yeah, it's really dope. It's cheap and you get a ton of samples. And like it gets to a point where I don't even need any synths. I just need a sampler and I can just take samples from that. But yeah, that's how I usually make a track, arrange it, organize it, kind of clean up some of the EQ stuff. But again, like a lot of my default stuff has like, for example, the MPC 3000 track already has my little compressor on there going to my kick. All my percussion stuff has a cut at 84, which I usually end up pushing towards 100, and if not higher for hats and stuff. Kicks cut at 50 because I usually rely on my bass to be the most bottom heavy when it comes to a club. So I'll usually just leave it as is or throw a cut on there at 24 because no system really goes lower than that. So why even hog headroom from that point of view? And then I'll sometimes reflip the sample and just try to add some more percussion stuff or clap around my room and hit record and see what it sounds like and chop it up and either throw it in the 3000 or, you know, just track it out into Ableton. But yeah. That's really it. Anyway, I appreciate you hanging out. Hope you had some fun. Hope you maybe learned something along the way. And if you did, you already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace. Actually, oh man, I always mess up on these outros. There it is.